In this video tutorial, I will show you how to customize your map route using Map Route Generator. Open the Project 4K or Full HD and import your map or your image. You can use any map resolution. However, I suggest you to use the higher. Now you can place your map into the composition called Your Map Here. Scale it down if necessary and always remember to switch it to 3D. Open the Map Animation comp and start the Map Route Generator script. The first thing you need to do is to add the locators on your map. You can add as many locators as you want, simply by pressing the Add Locator button. Once you have placed a locator, you can move it to the desired position and change its name. In this example, I will place 5 locators for my animation. Now use a multiple selection to select all locators, keeping in mind that the selection order is very important. Let's say, for example, I want to start my travel from Brazil, go through South Africa, Italy, Spain, and arrive in the United States. The correct selection order will be Brazil, South Africa, Italy, Spain, United States. Press the Create Path button, and the path will be immediately created. Now, if you want, you can move the handles to adjust the smoothness of the path without changing the position of the points. Just remember you cannot add any intermediate points along the path. When you're satisfied with the result, you can finally press the Confirm button, and you're ready to customize all the rest. To begin with, you could change the altitude and the distance of the camera using the corresponding sliders. The current animation uses the Follow Path method, but if you prefer, you can change the camera animation to Rotate Around Tracker. In this way, the camera will rotate around the tracker for the entire duration of the animation. The third option is the Free Camera. Using this option, the script algorithm will randomly choose the camera movement. In this case, the altitude and distance sliders can't be used, because the camera position has been chosen randomly. If you don't like the randomly generated movement of the camera, you can press the Random Seed button for generating a new camera animation. So, with Random Seed, you can create unlimited combinations. Remember, if you change the camera animation style and you return back to Free Camera, the camera animation will not be the same as the last one. Another very useful option of Map Route Generator is the possibility of changing the duration of the animation. In this case, for example, if the animation is too fast, you can simply increase the animation duration by replacing the current value. After typing your new value, press the No Stop Animation button. You can also decide to stop your tracker when it arrives at a location. For example, if you want the tracker to stop just in South Africa and Italy, I have to select the South Africa and Italy locators, then press the Stop on Selected Points button. The tracker will stop in the selected locators for 3 seconds. To increase or decrease the stop duration, simply change the Stop on Point value, then press the Stop on Selected Points again. If you want to go back to the No Stop animation, simply press the corresponding button. Now, to use the Stop on Points function again, you just need to press the Stop on selected points without selecting the stop points, because they have already been stored in the project. If you want to reset or change the stop points, press the Reset Stop Points button. The Stop on Point function can also be useful if you need to create a complex path, like in the example I'm going to show you now. In this map, starting from point A, I want to follow the road, stop on point B, and reach point C. If I just create 3 locators, it would be impossible to change the curvature of the path in order to follow the road, even if I modify the handles of the points. In this case, I need to consider the locators like vector points of a path, so I'm going to create and place more locators in proximity to the curves in the road. Now I can create the path and adjust the handles of the points to match the path with the road. Finally, I can confirm it. Let's select the top point and press the Stop on Selected Points button. Now that the animation is ready, you can modify and add further options. The first one is the tracker style, which allows you to select a different tracker or to use a custom tracker. To create a custom tracker, open the Trackers folder and then the Custom Composition. You can place your tracker here or you can create it from a shape. Just be careful to place it in the center of the composition and turn it to 3D. Go back to the Map Animation composition and select the custom tracker in the script. If you want to resize the tracker, change its scale from the Map Animation composition. If you don't want to use a tracker in your animation, do not remove it from the composition. Just hide the layer, or leave the custom tracker composition empty and select it in the script. The DOF checkbox enables the depth of field, always keeping the tracker in focus. If you're using this project with an older version of After Effects, you could see a sort of artifact inside the focused area. To fix this problem, you need to change the color depth to 32 bits. The Dotted Path checkbox switch your line path from solid to dotted. With Path Color, you can change the color of it. The thickness slider can be used for changing the thickness of the line. With Enable Shadow, you can decide whether to keep the shadow below the line in the tracker or not, and adjust the shadow distance with the corresponding slider. At this point, you can replace the current locators with a pin. Select the locators that you want to change. Set the pin style from the menu and press the OK button. As for the tracker, if you want to use your custom pin, you need to open the Pins folder and then the Custom Pin Composition. You can place or create your pin here. If you want to create a horizontal pin, place it in the center of the composition and turn it to 3D. Now you can select your custom pin in the script. If you want to create a vertical pin, move its anchor point on the base, place it in the center of the composition, then rotate the X rotation by 90 degrees. It is in any case very important not to change the size of the pin composition. In this example, I used the locators to adjust my curves, so I don't need to add pins on them, and I proceed to hide them. Very important, if you don't want to use one of the layers created or controlled by the script, do not remove it, but simply hide it. Now, if you need to scale a pin up or down, use the scale property of the map animation comp and the rotation properties to rotate it in case, for example, the position of the camera is from the side of the pin. Speaking about the pins, if you want to change their colors, you have to navigate into the Pins folder. Then open the pin composition that you want to use and select the color control layer. Here you can change all colors to create your own style. Let's look at the animation. As you can see, all pins appear at the same time. You probably want each pin to appear when the tracker arrives on the corresponding point. To do this, slide the pin layer to the correct time position. In addition to the pin, you can also add texts or informations. This template contains 20 different text styles subdivided into Description tab, Double Text Line, Image tab, Single Text Line. You can see a fast preview of these styles opening the Text Preview composition, where you can choose the style that you prefer to insert into the animation. Imagine that you want to use for all points the double text line called ToTexts Style 1. Well, open the Info tabs folder, then open the double text line subfolder. Here you can find the composition called ToTexts Style 1. Open it and select the Color Controls layer to customize the colors. Now duplicate this comp by pressing Ctrl+D for PC or Command+D for Mac in order to have 3 identical compositions. Start with the first one. Replace the title and the subtitle. Do the same with the other callouts just created. Go back to the map animation comp and import these callouts into the comp, below the tracker layer. Now use a multiple selection, select one callout and the corresponding locator, and press the Connect Info tab with selected pin. The callout will be placed exactly in the same position as its locator. As for the pins, you can scale or rotate callouts. For example, if you want to place the callout horizontally, you just have to set the X rotation to 0. Otherwise, if you want to rotate the callout on its Y-axis, use the Y rotation control. Like the pins, all callouts or info tabs must be moved in the timeline in order to appear when the corresponding pin appears, or when the tracker goes through the point. Map Route Generator also allows to place image tabs. Inserting an image is very easy. Open one of the image tab compositions, for example, the composition called Image Tab Style 5. The gray shape represents the area where your image will appear, so import your image into the comp, then scale and move it in order to cover the gray shape. Now, as you have already done, import the image tab into the animation map composition and connect it to the selected point. Now the animation is ready, so you can choose the intro animation you prefer, open the folder called Final Animation, and open one of the available styles, for example, the comp called Studio. In this intro animation, you can also place your logo or an image in the laptop screen. So in order to change it, you have to open the composition called Your Logo Here, and replace the current image with yours. Before launching the render, you need to set the background under the map. So go back to the map animation composition and enable the Studio background layer. Obviously, if you want to use other intro animations, you have to select the corresponding background. Now go back again to the Studio composition, set the end of the work area, and add it to the render queue. In case you need to make other changes in the future, before closing the script, press the Save Data button and all project information will be stored in the script. When you reopen the script and need to work on the same project, simply press the Load Data button. If you want to restart the project from scratch, just press the Reset button. Then you can decide whether to delete everything or keep the locators in their current position. That's all. Thanks for watching.